Hi, I'm Jeremy Feets, Managing Partner of TheLawFirm.com. This quick video answers the most frequently asked questions about hernia mesh claims. Who makes hernia mesh? There are a number of manufacturers, and not all hernia mesh is defective. Right now, TheLawFirm.com is actively pursuing cases involving Johnson & Johnson Ethicon's Physiomesh and the Atrium company's C-Qur mesh. How do I know if I have the bad mesh? It's not necessary for you to know who made your mesh. Most people only know the problems they're having. We can obtain the information about your mesh from your medical records at no upfront cost to you. The hospital records actually have make, model, serial number, etc. of all foreign objects implanted, including the specific details about your hernia mesh. You can get those records, or we can get them for you. Why are the manufacturers responsible? We believe the manufacturers of hernia mesh designed and sold defective and unreasonably dangerous hernia mesh products. Both the Physiomesh and the C-Qur mesh have coatings on them that we believe cause them to cause problems, including movement of the mesh, erosion of the mesh, which is where it can stick through other tissues, entrapment of bowel structures, and other problems. We believe that these companies failed to adequately research their mesh, knew or should have known about the potential risk of infections, allergic reactions, bowel damage, and other internal injuries, but either looked the other way or actively withheld this information from patients and their doctors. We believe the companies failed to properly investigate reports of problems after the hernia mesh was introduced. We believe these companies failed to warn doctors and patients about the risks of injury from their hernia mesh, and we believe they failed to more promptly issue a recall or withdrawal after problems were discovered. In other words, we believe these companies wanted to sell more mesh and make more money. Who is eligible for possible compensation? There are essentially three criteria for our firm to consider your claim. One, you must have had the Physio or C-Qur hernia mesh implanted, but again, don't worry about this. We can gather this information from your records once you engage with us. Number two, you must have suffered some complications from the mesh. The most common complications have led to revision surgery, meaning that your doctor had to go in again and take some or all of the mesh out. If you didn't have a revision, you may need one in the future if you're suffering from mesh erosion or failure, twisted or perforated bowel causing gastric ulcers or other intestinal problems, including infections like sepsis and gangrene, chronic abdominal infections, chronic pain, abdominal pain, bowel adhesions, ulcers, or organ perforations. And sometimes people just call us because they have a problem with their mesh. It might be as simple as pain, and we're interested in talking to you folks too. Is this a class action? No. A class action is where one or two people represent everyone and make the decisions for you. In the hernia mesh case, each case is individual, and you with your attorney make the decisions about the important events in your case. How much will this cost? There's no fee unless and until we win for you, and our straightforward fee agreement sets out the simple terms of our fees and costs for when we win your case. We will never ask you to send us money ever. Do you sue my doctor? No, we do not sue or make any claims against your doctors. We believe that the doctors are the victims of the greedy pharmaceutical corporations as well. In fact, we expect your doctor to be as outraged as we are that the company did not warn about the risks of this hernia mesh. Will I have to go to court? Probably not. With the hundreds and likely thousands of similar cases filed before yours, it is very unlikely that you will ever have to go to court. And while there are no guarantees, 99% of cases like this resolve in a settlement program. Can I just wait to bring a claim? Unfortunately, it's very dangerous to wait because the law places strict time limits on your ability to make a claim. Because the company has now been forced, in our opinion, to withdraw Physiomesh from the market because of these increased risks, we believe that time may be running out for people to bring a claim. How long will my case take? While these cases can take a few years, there are already thousands of cases being pursued. We believe that there will be significant pressure on the company to establish a settlement program. Will everyone get the same amount in a settlement? No, when a settlement happens, there will likely be a base value subject to adjustments depending on certain criteria. You will decide whether to settle your claim or not with the advice of your attorney. Do you guys know what you're doing? Well, people don't usually ask us so bluntly, but it's important to know that you're well represented. So yes, our team has been handling defective medical product cases since fen-phen in the 1990s, and since then we've been involved in many of the major medical recall claims, including Baycol, Resolin, Prempro, Vioxx, and Medtronic defibrillator, pelvic mesh cases, metal-on-metal hip implants, and many members of our team have represented victims of defective medical products or bad drugs for almost 20 years. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope that you'll contact us at TheLawFirm.com.